So students, I'll again proceed with the same sample preparation process which I was just telling you, that how you can prepare your sample in a very easier way, following few steps that are involved in it. So how your sample is prepared for Maldi analysis is simply of great importance. It holds a very strong impact, and the whole of your analysis depends upon how you are preparing your sample. That means no contamination is there. As I always told you in my laboratories, please, no contamination. So this is a very important point, that your target plate, your stainless steel plate, is free of dust, it's clean, and it can be wiped easily with some solvents. Okay, we will discuss that thing later. So now multiple choices are there when we are preparing a Maldi sample. Simply you can say directly towards its advantages and its disadvantages as well. We can always start our analysis by going through the literature provided, okay, by the technicians or the laboratories, or the laboratory. You can take the laboratory technician expertise views also in sample preparations. So even with the, you can say, present or standard method, you still need to go through the practical or experimental steps for optimizing your findings, your results. And the most important and preventive step is preventing your sample from contamination, which I just mentioned earlier, resulting what will happen into a failure, achieving a perfect result, right? And so it's critical to prevent contamination sometimes. Maldi has proven to be, you can say, more controlled, or you can say more tolerant than the other types of mass specs that are around, right? You can say contaminants control, or then other types of mass spec contaminants in your sample may cause, or you can say the contamination simply may cause your sample to cause delay in crystallization, and it can simply interfere with the ionization also, resulting to a complicated mass spectrum that would not be easily to be, you can say, analyzed in a very easy manner. It will be difficult to analyze or distinguish the peaks that are there because they are overlapping. Sometimes overlapping is there. So these all things, they leads to the contamination part, right? If you are contaminating your sample, so you need to be very careful when you are preparing your sample by wearing gloves, right? Your gloves are supposed to be with you, and you are not supposed to touch the steel plate, that is the target plate of the instrument Maldi plate, with your directly with your hands. You have to hold it with through via its edges, right? So things like that, you have to be very careful when you are dealing with it. So now you can say it leads to the point that utmost care should be given, right, to avoid contamination, to prevent your sample from being contaminated. According to Dr. Jennifer Grant, you can say, she is a doctor, a PhD in University of Wisconsin, Stout. If you will not take a, you can say, it was her statement in some of her lectures, if you don't take a high quality sample to Maldi, then you will not be able to get a high quality data out of it. That was something beautiful which she said, right? So I needed to quote her name here because I'm referring to her video right now. So your quality of your results depends upon the quality of the sample you are making. You are making it a contamination free sample. That is the point. It should be, you can say, of high quality, so that you can have a high quality data as well. So that was, according to her, that was one of the reasons to training the researchers, to training the lab technicians to this level of, you can say that you have to save your sample from dust. It should be clean, or it should be dust free, and otherwise what's the use of what's the fun of using all these tools, right, for this high class instrumentation, if you are not saving your sample being contaminated by these small issues. So